The next slide, please. Mr. Jitin Chawla, an eminent career counselor, will be with you here in this webinar. He's an MBA graduate from one of the topmost business institutes in India, Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi. Mr. Chawla is the founder and director of North India's oldest and topmost career counseling firm, Center for Career Development, located in Delhi. Within a span of 21 years, he and his team of counselors have done almost 36,000 plus workshops, 360 plus career fairs, and counseled over a lakh students. He is a member of the National Career Development Association, United States of America, and he is the founder of the National Career Development Association, United States of America. Our next speaker is Mr. Yan Garin, Country Head, Ecole Intuit Lab India, Country Head and Director for Ecole Intuit Lab. Yan thrives on finding creative solutions to any challenge, helping building useful tools and identifying the best skills in the people he manages. He is always willing to explore different ways of doing things and goes the extra mile to help solve problems. He is an excellent collaborator. Coming from a background in the arts and design industry himself, he understands the needs and challenges in the design education sphere and strives to design the best of education for students at the Intuit Lab. Yan has worked earlier as an artistic director and production coordinator and has studied from one of the finest universities in France, University Paris Sorbonne. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
So great. Thanks a lot, Konalika, for the introduction. People, design is something which has in the last 15 years, it has really come up as a career option. Earlier days, I remember the time when we were in school and then college. And I remember my batchmates used to talk about it. Then people would say, oh, what do you want to do exactly? I mean, they would not even understand. But check out in the last 10 years, what all has happened. Companies like Apple, companies like Google, all these companies hired a lot of designers. So, I mean, design really came up on the top. Even this thing to understand, like, for example, fashion design. So people's interest in garments are also stimulated. If I look at the Indian scene, the garment industry has a whopping growth. I have met entrepreneurs who started pretty young and not only supplying men or female garments, but even children, kids. So kids garment thing increased so much. So fashion design also, even other areas like jewelry design, product design, so many areas came up which we will discuss today. So that is why design based careers, let's try and understand. I have my friend Yan. So Yan is from France. I mean, France is the land of design. So Yan is from Ecole Intuit Lab. So welcome to the show, Yan. So Yan, tell us about your journey also. Like, where did you grow up, Yan, and what really happened initially, and what pulled you to the design field?
Thank you very much, Jitin, for the introduction. So yeah, as you can hear, I'm originally from France. I was born near Paris, actually. I studied musicology, to be very precise. That's I had a passion for music, and I wanted to make music my career. And you know how life is; it's never happened the way you planned it. So many things happen, and finally, I ended up in India 15 years ago. Now I'm living in India for 15 years. In 2006,
Oh.
I came to Mumbai, and I was first working in the 3D outsources domain. So basically, we were making 3D models for companies mostly in the US and Europe. And while doing that, I started teaching at Ecole Intuit Lab. I've been approached by one of the teachers who told me, well, you could teach 3D there because it's an important subject that the students need to know. So I started doing that, and immediately I fell in love with Ecole Intuit Lab. The way the curriculum was made and the methodology that was used in this school completely resonated with what I believe in. I really love that. One of the most important aspects of Ecole Intuit Lab is we believe that anyone can be a designer. And I still hear too many times that people say that no, I love creating things, but my parents think that I'm not made for that, for example. That's, and when I hear that, it's really hurt me, because the I want is the most important part of it, to be a designer. Michael, the director of Ecole Intuit Lab France, told me that designer is not a profession, it's an attitude. And I fully agree with that. I find it very interesting. And this is what we believe. Anybody can be a designer if the desire, to improve the world actually is here. If you have this desire, we do the rest. This is our job, to teach the students, obviously, how to draw, but also how to think and how to solve problems creatively. So this is what I discovered when I started teaching at Ecole Intuit Lab. And slowly, I became a director of operations there. And today, I'm the country head and director of Ecole Intuit Lab India, because now we have 3 campuses, one in Mumbai, one in Calcutta, and we just opened the last campus in New Delhi last
Yeah,
Friday.
I was there at the launch.
You were
Yeah,
there, exactly, and
it was
and
great. It was great. Yeah,
it was super exciting to meet the
great.
new team and plan many things there. Yeah.
Great, great. So I'll just come back, Yan, and I just want to share with the audience. I think we have quite a few people. Hi, Umar Sheikh. Hi, Harshita Goel. Hi, Ria Arora. I'm sure there are other people also who are joining in. So, guys, I'll quickly take you through a journey on what is happening, and of course, today we'll be speaking about best career options in design. How do you scale it up? How can I also speak on how you combine design with management or design with technology. And I would and subsequently Yan will again tell you about fewer areas in design and how you can build up a career in that. So that's how we will do. And Anusha, we are doing a design workshop right now. So at the end, if you have time, we'll take this thing. Otherwise, you can watch my video on YouTube about engineering. You'll get all the other colleges. Hi, Bhavar Rathore. Hi. Okay. So let's start off. Ribu, if you can put up the PPT. So people, we have a structured PPT will help you in understanding design as an option, and then step by step we'll move forward. Next, please. So obviously, like in India, the way it shaped up, so NID was a government-run institute. It was established, and NID offers you various courses, right from product design to furniture design. Do you know that world's largest multinational companies are present in India? Like check out Gautier, check out Natuzzi, and so on. So I mean, all the top companies today of the world are present in India in this sector also. Ceramic and glass design, graphic design, lot of jobs. All your .com startups, they need such people, or specialized UI UX design also. Animation film design, film and video communication, exhibition design. You go to Pragati Maidan or now Noida Expo Center here near Delhi. So if you go there, you'll find amazingly designed stalls. Like I visit Auto Expo every year, and I find amazing. I mean, the way things have been designed is amazing. So there are professionals at work, guys. So this itself is a huge area. UI UX do Epic is a big area, huge area. UI UX is huge. So we'll be speaking about it after some time. Textile design. So NID, of course, is seen as a top institute. Next. So I'm generally giving you an overview of what things have been happening, what are the places, yeah, number of seats. Of course, this is available on the net, but we just put it here. Total 340 seats after 10 plus 2. Next. So apart from Ahmedabad, Vijayawada, Kurukshetra, Bhopal, all these places. NIFT again, apart from fashion, they also have been doing leather design, accessory design, textile, knitwear, and so on. NIFT again is a government institute having a lot of centers. Next. So next, please. Okay, CEPT Ahmedabad again is an old institute in India having architecture, interior design, civil construction, and urban design. You know, so urban design is like you are all looking at smart city concept. So when a smart city is being planned out, you need designers, you need people who will plan where the school should be there, how many parks should be there, where you should have hospitals, how the road layout should be there, blah blah blah. So that all is covered by people in urban design. So that's another area which is catching up. Next. Hi Shivalal, hi Namit, welcome to the show. So various areas, what kind of seats are available at CPT Ahmedabad? Again, a good institute. Next. Okay, and then Ecole, where we have Yan from Ecole Intuit Lab. So Ecole Intuit Lab has undergraduate programs in visual communication, game and art design, fine arts, product design. So I always tell people that look, if you are not very clear, initially you can take a generic course rather than going for a specialization course. So like I have a student who did fine arts and then went into product design. Another one who did fine arts, then did a specialization in UIUX design, and so on. But at this point, I'll ask Yan to comment on visual communication, game art and design. What is happening? Because a lot of people ask me about gaming. I did a webinar earlier. Oh God, we were swamped. 2,000 plus people attended a webinar. So, but all the kids kept on saying, "Papa, like tell my papa and mama. I mean that they should allow me to play games." That's how it was.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So visual communication, game art and design. So what is the scenario? What is happening?
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations on the way you are listing all these multiple aspects of design. For many people who don't really know design, because I meet many parents in this case, they think that either it's like Italian furniture or it's Photoshop. That's generally the two ideas that they have of design. But as you show, it's really, really way more than that. It's more or less anything surrounding you nowadays has to be designed. So there is a specialization for absolutely everything. I came to know recently that there is a term for uh, uh, coding design, for example. So it's not coding, it's the way you design your coding. So you see how deep it goes. So we focus on these programs that you can see here, starting with visual communication, which is really the DNA of Ecole Intuit Lab. Visual communication, many people know that as graphic design. We didn't want to call it graphic design because it's much more than a pure graphic design. Visual communication is really everything that attracts your attention when you are buying a product, when you are following a path on the road, or when you are looking for something to buy, for example, on your cell phone. All of all of these visual assets are made by visual designer. Nowadays, it's not possible to address an audience without the proper visual language because people are used to that. If, for example, you want to sell train tickets and you just write what you are selling, you can be sure that people will go on another website, for example. That's how it works. It was not the case maybe 100 years ago, but nowadays it's really the case. So in visual communication, there are also many subdomains. The important ones, I like the classification of the static design. So anything that has to be done related to publishing, for example, ads, pamphlet, leaflets, editorial design, all of that. Typography is a part of it. You have the moving design. Everything that you see that is in movement on your screen, for example, or on TV. You also have hoarding outside with animations, for example. All of that is called the motion graphics. It's a second category. And the last one, and nowadays this is the most important one, is the interactive design. So things that go in both directions. The company is saying something, but the user is also saying something, So for example, on an app, when you click on a particular button, there is a lot of things happening behind to take you exactly where you want to be, for example. In gaming, same, when you press a button on a controller, you have a direct impact on what is visible on the screen. So that is the third part of visual communication, I would say. And in design in general, by the way. The main sectors where people work for visual communication is branding. So branding is really the tone of voice of a company. If you think about, for example, Apple, as you were mentioning, and Microsoft, they speak completely differently. It's because their branding is really different. It's almost the opposite. So that is branding. You have advertising, which is close to branding, but for a particular product. So if an iPhone 11 is released, for example, you will have a lot of advertising because people need to know about the release of this product, and also they need to be attracted to this product, obviously. You have editorial design, which is anything related to press, magazine, book, etc. And the last big sector is digital, obviously. Nowadays, I say everybody has to be digital. It's not possible to be part of this world without having a digital presence. So there is a lot of work for visual designer also on that aspect. That's it for visual communication. If you have any question, obviously, I'll be happy to.
We have got a few questions. We'll quickly take
Yes.
it. So one is Daksh is saying, I want to do animation. So Daksh, actually, in my mind, you could do a BFA, fine arts also, still get into animation. You can do like on the screen, you are seeing undergraduate in game art and design and still get into animation. You could do visual communication and still get into animation. So base can be absolutely fine. Of course, if you're looking at NID, you can get it, but otherwise you can consider other institutes. Fashion may not lead, but I'll go more for BFA in case you want to look at animation later on. Also, Ayushi is asking, what about specialization in interior design for design graduates? I think it's a good option. What do you say, Yan?
Yes, interior design. So there are some schools specialized in interior design who do only this. If you are sure to want to be an interior designer, you can. I'm thinking about our partner, for example, JSID, who really does that. So some schools do that. At Ecole Intuit Lab, we don't for various reasons. But as you say, having a good basis in design give you the option to go a bit anywhere in any creative career later.
So we have a comment in French for you, which I think you will only understand. Salute,
Yeah.
monsieur. Salute, monsieur Yan.
Salut,
Can you highlight?
monsieur.
Can you reply to this?
Alors, salut monsieur, est-il possible d'étudier le design en Inde et de travailler en France? Arushi, I'll answer in English if you don't mind. Your French is perfect, but for the rest of the
You can
audience,
speak in French first. Let the audience enjoy. You can speak in French first and then translate to English. That'll be good fun.
OK. Alors, Arushi, ma réponse, c'est oui, il est tout à fait possible d'étudier le design ici en Inde et d'aller travailler ensuite en France. So I just told her that yes, it's possible to study design in India and to go and work in France. We actually have some alumni who are not now working in Paris. So that's something that is perfectly possible. The best way I would say to do that, and this is what happened to my alumni, is to do an internship first in France. And all our programs have an internship program that is compulsory. And we send many students abroad for their internship. Once you are there in the company and you prove yourself, that you are a great designer, it happens that the company wants to retain you, and you are lucky because now the Indian market is extremely important and interesting for France, not only France, but France and European countries, because India nowadays is really global and is represented everywhere around the world. So the French brand also wants to enter the Indian market, obviously. And having a designer who has the same level that's the one they will find in France, but with an Indian culture on top of that, is extremely rare. So it's a really good possibility that you have to offer to the French company then.
Okay, great. So, how to prepare for design aptitude tests, Sudhanshu? One is that you could do by yourself. You can go online and check out uceed. So mock papers, everything on the uceed website. You can download everything, and last couple of years you can check it out. Or there are institutes like BRDS is a good institute. You can look at them. Couple of others also, but BRDS we have seen they've been able to contribute. So you can check out their offerings. So they offer 6 month, 1 year, even 2 year training programs. Check it out. So, Ishika, what subjects do you have? If you have like one, of course, any subjects you can still get into any design course. But if you're a science student, then you can look at BF Tech also, which NIFT offers, which is garment manufacturing technology, comes some bit of design. So Shrey is asking what is taught in BF Tech. It's basically your understanding garment manufacturing. So you're understanding textile design, you're understanding coloring of garment, how it is done. You're understanding latest trends. You're understanding later on marketing. You're understanding how do you run exports. So all this, but not so much on management, but more on manufacturing. Textile design is what BF Tech will cover. So Abhijit is asking what are the career options for UCEED exam. Abhijit, after UCEED, you can get into like IIT Mumbai, B Design. You can look at IIT Guwahati. You can look at a couple of triple ITs like triple IT Delhi. They have a program design plus computer science. You can look at that also. Pratyaksh is asking like a graduation in UX is better or a 6 month course after graduation is better. Yan?
Yes. So I'm very, very convinced that what you can do in 6 months is extremely superficial. Some courses are very good in 6 months for people who are already graphic designer. So as Jitin said, you can start with a generic course, for example, and specialize later. And in that case, having a 6-month program in UI/UX to get this specialized skill makes sense. But if you want to start from scratch, definitely it's not possible. We offer a digital product design course which cover a lot of UI/UX. Obviously, it's a 4-year program, starting with 1 year foundation with no computer, as simple as that, to really have all your concepts and your basis, perfectly aligned. It's super important before going to digital to be not necessarily an artist, being a Picasso, that's not important, but being comfortable with a pen, with the coordination of the brain, the eye, and the hand. That takes time. And then we have 3 more years where we really go to all the universal and timeless principles of graphic design and digital design. Then the professional technique takes 1 year, and we finish with 1 year of a kind of incubator, where you really start your own product in a team and try to launch it on the market. And you add to that a short and a long internship. So you see, this is for us what it takes to be a good UI UX designer.
Great, great. So, Tamanna is asking, I'm a bit confused between fashion communication, fashion designing. What would I go for because I want to be a fashion stylist? Yan?
Fashion is not my forte, to be frank, and that's why we don't have it in our program. So I prefer if you reply
Okay.
to this question.
I'll reply. Tamanna, fashion communication would be more like you are kind of eventually in a job you're writing for a fashion magazine. You are working like NDTV is present at a big launch, so you are a person who's covering it. So fashion communication is all about it. It's like mass comm plus some basic understanding of fashion. But I would prefer fashion designing if you want to be a stylist, because fashion designing would let you understand right from the beginning. You'll be trained on colors, sketching, a type of body, and so on. I remember my friends who did fashion design courses, so they would catch hold of somebody. Like one of my friends caught hold of a doodh wala bhaiya who would supply doodh, and like Jan, it was a milk supplier she caught. Like early morning in India, you would find milk suppliers traveling by robust bikes and supplying milk. So she caught one of those guys, and yeah, you've seen, I don't know. So she made a kind of a unique dress for him, and that's how it happened. So I would probably feel, Tamanna, that fashion designing would be better suited. But as a stylist, you have to market. Again in India, who's the fashion stylist? Yeah. So it is typically a mom, a girlfriend, uh, these days even a boyfriend, or even a husband or wife. Who are the people who would need fashion stylists? So politicos, journalists, senior, uh, film stars, wannabe film stars, top business people. So they might need your services. So you have to understand how to get into those circles also. It's not an easy thing to do, but then you can think about it. Hi, Pritesh Vijay. Of course, I remember you. Good that you are here. What are the skills needed to be a good UI UX designer? Yan?
The skills to be a good UI UX design, that I will extend to digital product designer, because this is really the trend now. UI UX is a bit is a part of a bigger picture. But nevertheless, the skills for that are, I would start with empathy. You will hear that everywhere. Why empathy? Is because you are going to design for others. It will be 100% of the thing that you are going to design is for other people who are different like you, people that you need to understand. You have to put yourself in their shoes. I was reading studies about an app for pregnant women, for example, and the designers were wearing this kind of pads on their stomach, with a weight, etc., to understand what it is really, what to walk as a pregnant woman, for example. So they had to feel this this state of mind that the user have when they are using your app. So that's one important part. I would say having a good sense of business is important also, because you can do the best app in the world, the most fancy one. If nobody needs it, for example, your product will be a flop. The same if your product is not economically viable or is not feasible. Sometimes the designer have things in mind, but it's not possible to do it for technical, financial reasons. Same thing, you cannot go anywhere with your product in that case. So that's a good skill to have. And the last one, an asset that is can really help the students, is to have a kind of engineer mindset. Why? Because again, you are going to solve problem, and it's important to do it creatively. So this is why you are a designer. That means seeing a problem, but from another angle, to find a different solution, not the common one, but having this sense that the engineers have to quickly, being pragmatic, systematic, and analytic with the situation is something that really helped them a lot. So these three skills,
Great,
I would say, are the most
great,
important one.
great, great. The way we are not discussing science today, data sciences, we are discussing creative careers. So, Shreya, which jobs in design is more of importance in foreign countries? So, UI UX design, product design, I would say even like fine arts also people have done from India and gone for specializations. So, animation, game design. I have sent a lot of people outside India for game design, and they're all successfully placed. So, game design. Uh, some people have latched on to making creatives for for social media and so on. So also one thing I would like to mention here, you might do one type of design but you might latch on and do something else. So designers are unstoppable. They don't so I had a very good friend, somehow I've not been in touch with him now, but long time back we used to connect, and this guy had done it fine arts and initially started off by doing paintings. But then if I tell you what all he has done, you'll be shocked. He uh, he did button design for garment exporter, like button shirt button design. So he would design the button. He did uh, he did styling for some shoots. Models used to hate him because he used to think of such weird ideas. So sometimes the mud falling from somewhere onto the model's head, and the moment it touches the head, click click click, and he would have to do a lot of retakes. So imagine a beautiful model and a lot of mud is falling on her head, sometimes egg yolk hitting the model's face. He would think of weird things, and so he was a stylist. Yeah, he also did that work. Then I remember he also helped in interiors. So designers, typically people on the design side, don't stop at one thing, and they'll keep on innovating and they would keep on playing on two three. But you have to identify that which side you can build up your career, make some good money also. Yeah, of course, if you don't need money, you know where to share.
That's
Okay,
But I would add something, Jitin, if you don't mind, to Shreya.
please,
Uh,
please, please.
I don't think she should, and I mean, you say that, but I'll say it differently. She should not uh, start a career because it's today the trend outside. That should be the opposite. Do for what you really love, enjoy, and as Jitin say, with serendipity, you will find your path to something that is fantastic. You will have fun. Maybe you will make a lot of money, but maybe also you will spend 10 hours per day having fun doing what you do. And it worth a lot of money also, I can tell you that.
Absolutely. So the Ajuba is asking B design for DTU. It is at DTU. So DTU offers B design. It is through UCED exam. So UCED is an exam conducted by IIT Mumbai. You can check UCED online. You'll get last year, couple of years, in fact, previous question papers, solutions also. So if I do B design from DTU, the kind of recruitment which is happening is more in industrial design or product design. So companies which are hiring might be TV companies, might be some manufacturing company, might be mobile companies, and so on. So it's a good course. Of course, DTU is a good institute. Aisha is asking, I'm confused in interior and fashion design. What should I do? What has more scope in future? I would immediately say if I'm looking at India, so like both, first of all, understand both the jobs are quite different. So if I'm an interior designer, every day morning I'll pick up my car or whatever, or I travel by metro and reach out to a client. So somebody is starting off a new restaurant, somebody is setting up a new office. So I would try and understand their requirements and pitch that I would like to take up this and try to get the contract. If I already have some contracts, I'll be going and seeing what work has been done. So every day I'll be speaking to the woodwork guy to the light wala guy to the person who will be doing the floor. So I'll be working with such workers day in and day out. Alternatively, if I'm a fashion designer, I can work with our export house. I can work with a large fashion designer and do things which I'm expected to. So, in my mind, if you want to create your own thing, interiors has a lot of scope. Start off, practice on one side, like you might be a specialist in office interiors, or you might be a specialist in house interiors. Today, there are bathroom designers. Yeah, in fact, I am speaking for my house. I am speaking to somebody so that my I can have a designed bathroom also, washroom also. Why not? So things like those. Which design is more demand in India and abroad in 4 years? Sai Kiran, I would say the topmost will be UI UX design. Why? Because a lot of startups are there all over the world. It is really demanding. And maybe you can visit Ecole Intuit Lab right at Lajpat Nagar. While going on the way, you guys might have seen JS Store. So it's just there itself. So you can check it out and talk to people there and see it's an amazing office. If you want to see pics and all, you can check my Instagram account, Jitin Chawla.careerguru. You'll understand. Yeah. So quickly, we'll just show you some other things, and then we'll come back to more discussions. Next. So typically, some people, like some institutes, they would have two phases when it comes to testing. So initially, it might be general ability, which is like English, reasoning, quant, GK, current affairs, and all. And second might be drawing design questions. Yeah. And second will be second phase for NID would be exactly drawing, sketching, hands-on 3D model. Basically, what they're trying to check is your that do you have a perspective on design? Can you visualize? Can you like? I remember a funny question, but a lot of times such questions come. You are a witch flying on a broom above a city. Can you visualize how the city looks like three-dimensionally? Can you do a sketch? Yeah. So such kind of questions might come. Next. So NIFT has GAT, General Ability Test, Creativity Test, GAT and CAT. Yeah. And then of course followed by a situation test. So 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 can I prepare by myself? Answer is yes. But of course you can take specialized help. I earlier also said BRDS is a good institute. There are a couple of others which you can look at. So UCED again has part A and part B, and total number of questions is 69. I think one would have taken out last pattern. So you can check UCED exactly. Just check UCED 2020. You'll get sample papers, everything. Next. CPT again, a written test is there, visual perception, construction awareness, and then English, reasoning, basics of maths. Next, generally general abilities, figure and creative ability. These two kind of things are tested. Next, generally the forms are out starting October. So this year everything has been delayed, but generally the forms are out like that, and the tests happen in Jan Feb also for a lot of institutes. Private institution typically later after 12th. Next, outside India, somebody was asking. So like you can check university like Aalto in Finland. So you have Bachelor's of Art and Design. There are other universities also. Cheshta Budhiraja, you were asking. So you can check out institutes like this. So looking at various areas in design, so industrial designers, they would plan any kind of products, devices. It can be anything, right from a remote, which also needs designing, to a mobile phone, to a lamp, to everything. Today, when we buy, like I've bought some very unique lamps to send across to my people, my friends, and all. So these are Philips lamps. So, but Philips, they would have used a designer to design those lamps. Yeah, things like those. Shreya is asking, will BF Tech boom in the coming future? No, the garment industry is doing well. So I think there are applications, but initially you don't earn great money immediately. It takes some time for you to reach a level where you can earn great money. What does a user experience designer do? Yan, why didn't you take this? UX design.
Yes, so I can see the photo of Don Norman here. That he's indeed the father of UX. When you are interested in interaction and UX, definitely you have to read everything he wrote, because you will find all the solution that you are looking for in this domain. What a user experience designer do? I will start with the obvious. They design experiences for user. But now, what is an experience? And that's generally what people are not so clear about. I'm sure you all use your cell phone daily. You use apps. You download apps, you try apps, right? And you select the best one. Generally, you make your selection based on the experience that you're having with an app. For example, if you download an app to buy products, for example, to buy your grocery, let's say, if it takes you, let's say, 20 fields to fill, to leave your name, your password, where do you live, blah, blah, blah. If it takes you half an hour just to log in like that, for example, you will consider to have nowadays, because it used to be common, but nowadays it's considered like a bad experience. You know, users don't do that. So a user experience designer, what they will do, they will simplify the process. So you see nowadays, you just leave a cell phone, you get an OTP, you don't even need to enter the OTP, it's already filled up, you press connect, and you are logged in. You know, compared to filling up many fields that you used to do before. So that's a great experience. Then you are on the website, on the main page of the app, and you want to buy milk, for example. If you need to try 5 different menus to understand where is what, for example, and when you click on that, it takes you to another page, but this is not what you expected. Finally, you go to shoes and you don't understand why, etc. You are confused. So that is also a very bad experience that you don't want to have. If you go, for example, on the Amazon website, immediately you will find your product. It takes less than 3 clicks to find what you are looking for. It's because the user experience here has been designed fantastically, and that's why they are so successful. So, in a nutshell, this is what a user experience do. They simplify your life as a user. That's really what I believe what they do. Simplify everything and make the usage of the app, in that case, obvious. That will be my definition.
Great, great. So I got a few more questions. I'll quickly take that and then move on to this. Will UI UX graphic designers, they'll be replaced by robots in future?
Yes, a very good question. So not exactly robots, because robots are mechanical, but artificial intelligence is making incredible progresses, and also in coding, in design. More and more of the tasks are now replaced by artificial intelligence. But that's also very interesting, because this artificial intelligence is not there to replace the designer. It's there to assist the designer, because the designer now can do much more because of the artificial intelligence. And the future will be even will go more in that direction. That's why it's important when you choose your course in your school to understand the content and the methodology. If it's just to learn how to find a tool in Photoshop, for example, and how to make a circle on your screen, that the artificial intelligence already does it, but is going to do only that in the future. The designers are not going to do that at all. So there is no point in spending hours and years learning this kind of technical things. What artificial intelligence is very far from now to do is to find creative ideas. That we are not there. So you should really focus on that aspect of the training, because this is what will make you a designer that is not obsolete in 5 years from now.
Great, great. So, what is the degree in fashion management? Shreya is asking. Shreya, like institute like NIFT, you'll have a master's program in fashion management. It lets you understand merchandising, lets you understand marketing, lets you understand digital marketing, lets you understand how do you plan out a complete business, the finance side of it, HR side of it, everything in detail. So that is how it is, and it is something which can lead you to getting into large government companies like Benetton, Zara, Arvind Mills, or you could be working with an export house, or you could start off something of your own also. So any of these we could look at. So best college for interior design in India. Check out NID. Check out CPT Ahmedabad. It's not that you need a master's to get a good job. Good job you'll get with experience. Your portfolio will get you a good job. What are the best colleges for UI UX designing? So initially, like in India, either you can go for specialized course. We just shared that with you earlier, or you can go for normal BFA or graphic design courses and still work in the area of UI UX design. What are the things we can do as a minor for developing our skills in design? So Kamlesh, like institute like NIFT also do certificate courses which anybody can do on the side. These are typically done in the evening or Saturday, Sunday, so you can take it alongside if you're doing something else. How do I know that I'm capable of doing UX designing? What qualities? I think I let Yan answer this question. So
How do I know that I'm capable of doing UX
Yan,
designer?
UX
What kind of
designing.
skills should I be having for it? Yeah, so as I explained a bit earlier, there are three skills that I find fundamentals. I won't go in detail again, but one is empathy. So having a good sense of what other people feel, any kind of other people, that is important. Having a good sense of business to make sure that your product is viable and is feasible and can be successful on the market. And the third important skills would be a kind of engineering mindset. You need to be very analytic and to classify quickly the problem, sort it out to find the right solution for that. So that are important skills. Obviously, a good training in design is a must, because you need to develop a very good eye and a sense of aesthetic, but that you will learn it. That's not a prerequisite.
Okay, great. So uh, we have some more questions. Is a digital portfolio necessary for admission in NIFT or NID? Not really, Share. They would have their own entrance exams. What are the some of good private colleges for fashion designing in India? So, Stuti, amongst private colleges, there are a number of colleges like Srishti Bangalore, SOFT Pune, uh, Ecole Intuit is there in Mumbai, in Delhi, and third center, where is it, Yan?
In Kolkata, but we don't do fashion design. Huh? We don't
Oh,
offer that in
oh,
any
oh,
campus. No.
okay. Okay, great. So, Suti, you can look at Pearl Academy, you can look at Srishti, you can look at SOFT Pune, MIT Pune, all of these. Okay, so we have been seeing on the screen like graphic designer. We did discuss this earlier also. Yeah. So sometimes it's like you're changing a statistical data to infographics. Like I love watching on YouTube how populations across the world grew. So country wise it is coming and keeps on changing. Yeah. So you need a graphic designer and somebody who understands data also. So graphic designers might do very very unique work. Next, product designer designs products, as simple as that. Next, So Johnny Ivy is the designer of iMac, iPad, iPod, and so on. So you might look at any of these areas. Communication design. So you are working, you're building up websites, you're making interfaces which people can look at. So that will come in communication design. Fine art photography is quite simple to understand. Games and virtual reality, so it's like game design area. Interaction design, we already have spoken so much. Yeah, painting and printmaking, product design, sculpture and environmental art, silversmithing and jewelry. So my office is in Southex. I know three top retailers of silver articles around my office. Yeah. So they would be having people who would help them in designing, like they have all kinds of stuff, right from simple plates to articles you can keep on a table, to hangings, everything in silver. Yeah. So fashion management, we discussed earlier, will give you an understanding of right from production to marketing to HR to what kind of entrepreneurial setup should be there, all of this fashion management. Illustration, sequential art. Again, you could do a BFA and get into this area. Advertising again is a huge area. Advertising is almost like a 80,000 crore industry in India, with the top ad agencies like FCB Ulka, JWTJ Walter Thompson, Lintas. So there are good jobs, and you can even get into brand management with large companies. Yeah. Aditya is asking, how can I reach you offline? So you have our numbers, Aditya. It's being flashed on the screen. You can be in touch with us. Yashika is asking, is doing a course in graphic designing a good option after BTech in computer science? Yes, why not, Yashika? One life, so choose your career which you like. Absolutely fine.
Yashika, I would like to add that we developed a special program for people in your case. It's a postgraduate program in graphic design, and it's really made for people who are not coming from a design industry, but are already graduated and wants to diverge. So I invite you to visit our website and get details about this particular class.
Great, great. Anything else? Any other thing, Yan, you want to share with the audience?
No, I'll be happy to answer more questions if they have.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I think questions are coming, so we'll just take it. So,
yeah.
everyone, all the people, I mean, you have seen the smart city concept. A lot of cities in India, even complete new smart cities are being developed. So, you need a lot of design inputs for a smart city. Next, hence, designer have an application here also. So, in India also it is happening. Though initially it is more of people with an architecture interior background who get in, but increasingly you will find other designers also coming in. So we have been sending people outside India, so we help them with applications and all. So a lot of people have gone to UK, US, of course, Europe. Uh, Europe again, you'll find a lot of people going to France, Italy. These are seen as top design destinations in the world. Some people have gone to Hong Kong also, China, Canada, Singapore, all over. Next. So again, it depends on what you're looking at. Like in UK, I have students who have gone for fashion management courses. US all kinds of design. Canada for graphic, and even it's not mentioned here, but animation and game design also. Canada is a big market for game design. Yeah.
Yes.
China, if you look at Schengen, that's a city of design. So a lot of industries they support through there. Next. So these are like some top schools all over the world. You can look at Parsons, Pratt, Savannah, Ringling College, California College of Arts, New York Film Academy. Again, it depends on what specializations you're looking at. Accordingly, you can plan out. Cornell, UL, London, and so on. Yeah. So in India, we've already spoken about these institutes. Next. So typically, to get into any institute, you need the following basic thing. The biggest is the portfolio. Yeah, it might be art pieces, it might be presentations, sketchbooks, whatever you have made. So that is a portfolio. Okay, and then of course, language proficiency. So if you're going to a country, you need to give IELTS or TOEFL to demonstrate that you can speak, read, write, listen in English. Yeah. In India, all design courses are available separately, but outside 3-4 design courses. Bhumik, now there are colleges where you can do a mix of courses also. But yes, I have seen people doing basic B design and still latching on and trying to do a specialized course in UI/UX design or graphic or game later on also. Can I do fashion designing masters from Canada? Yes, Aisha, you can. I have a student. She went to Humber University in Canada, and she's currently working with a fashion label there only. Next, next, please. So how to decide? It's not like tell me a field which is really growing, because of course you can still look at that, but you should also enjoy it. Like Yan clearly said, it is one life, and take up something which you're passionate about, and then definitely you will build it up. Some new areas, of course, are seen to be hot areas like UI/UX design. In India, still product design. You could also look at, you could also look at furniture design. So these are areas which are really, really on the top. And further, you can be in touch with us. If you want to be in touch with us, we are based in SouthX. We do career counseling, we do aptitude testing, we do study abroad services. Everything is there. In case you want to go to a design school, you have Ecole Intuit Lab. So you can go and visit them at Lajpat Nagar. So they have set up an institute there. Or you could, if you are from Mumbai or other places, you can check out Ecole's Institute in Mumbai also. So with this, I wish you all the best. Like on the screen, you can see my students who have gone for design with different scholarships. So it's not that if you go out, then you cannot get a scholarship. You can. Next, please. So with this, we wish you all the best. I'm thankful to Yan. Yan, thanks a lot for joining us and sharing how students can build up their careers in design, how students can build up a great career in design, I would say.
Thank you
So
very much,
thank you.
Jitin.
Thank you.
It was nice being with you, and congratulations to all the questions. That was really, really uh, important and a very interesting question that you asked here.
Yes, yes. So wish you all the best, people. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.